What's up, non-believers, doubters, and skeptics? How we doing today? It's just your Tuesday night stream, baby. We're just chilling. Just chilling in the Casa de Crow. Crow's my last name, if you didn't know. Today we're going to be talking about a couple things. Got a couple things on the agenda. One is how Christians don't like atheists, and it comes from a friendly atheist article that we're going to look at shortly. I'm playing music for me, but not for you. I can change that if you'd like. It's weird when Tuesdays roll around because I'll plan the live stream and I'm excited to talk to you guys and stuff. And then as the day goes on, the introvert in me is like, you know what? You don't have to go live. Just put it off. Just do it another week. No big deal. Who cares? But then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm committed to this. I've committed, and damn it, I'm going to do it. So we're going to talk about how atheists are hated, and we're going to talk about Hobby Lobby a little bit as well. It's always interesting when you start talking about Hobby Lobby. Don't be shy. Say what's up in the chat, peeps. It's freaking hot today. And I have to turn off my air conditioning in here whenever I record because the vent is right above me and it blows right down on the microphone. And so I have to turn it off. And then I'm like, hot as crap. The sacrifices you make. Hey, Brandi, are you, my internet friend, are you an introvert or an extrovert? Are you guys introverts? Are you extroverts? I love talking about that. Because I think a lot of people will say that they're both, or, you know, they're like, well, I'm an introvert sometimes, I'm an extrovert sometimes. It depends on who I'm around and that kind of thing. But really, being an extrovert or being an introvert is all about where you get your energy from, you know? Like, do you recharge by being with people, or do you recharge by being alone? And for me, I've always recharged by just being alone, because if I'm around people for too long, I'm like, okay. And like, I just feel like my battery gets drained. And that's similar to what happens on streams too. You know, once a stream is over with or whatever, it sort of takes a little bit out of me, but that's just how I am. Introvert. Zach's an introvert. Zachary is an introvert. Yeah. Yeah, that's a common misconception, Brandi. Just because you're social doesn't mean that you're an extrovert. I can be very social, but I'm also super introverted. It's just, you know, it's not really like putting a facade on or anything like that, but it's, you know, you have that in you. It's not like you're an asocial person. It's just, I'm not one of those people who can go out. I have a friend who goes out all the time. He used to go out almost every weeknight, like go to bars and stuff. I'm like, how? Why? I've never had that in me to where I wanted to do that, even when I was a young lad. Thanks, Zach. Yeah, I called my channel and like my social media accounts Jesus Unfollower because I was trying to come up with a name because I wanted to make. I hate this shirt. Look at this. freaking cheap ass Fruit of the Loom shirt. Anyway, I was trying to come up with a name because I wanted to make like ex-Christian content, atheist content. And I was like, what can I call myself? And I remembered how people have like Jesus follower in their bios all the time, or they call themselves Jesus followers. That's how Christians identify themselves a lot of times. And I was like, I can call my stuff Jesus unfollower because I used to follow Jesus and then I stopped. It's pretty self-explanatory. Like people can read my channel name and know that I am an ex-Christian. Like it sums it up pretty nicely. And so that's why I decided to go with it. Plus, and then it doesn't hurt when you go look and every single handle is available on every social media platform. So I was like, let me just go scoop all those up and then roll with the name. Hey, Elise. Brady, introverts become extroverts when they're around other introverts. It's crazy. In my life, I've dated a lot of, I sound like a man-ho, but I haven't dated a lot of, but like most of the people I've dated have been extroverts. And it's weird. It's a weird dynamic. It's good in a way because they help to get you out of your shell, but also they don't understand the need for the downtime and the alone time and stuff. And so it never really had the right chemistry. But when you find another introvert, you can just kind of hang out in the same space and both understand that you need your space, but do your own thing. And that's awesome. You know, whether it's dating or just being friends or whatever. Welcome to the Atheist Introvert channel. We talk about everything. I keep thinking that you guys can hear the music that I'm playing, but only I hear it. All right, I'm going to get into this. The name of the video here, let me launch this up real quick. Okay, here's the article from Friendly Atheist. It's called Atheists Are Still Widely Disliked. Christians Love Themselves by Hemant Mehta. If you don't know who Hemant Mehta is, he's an awesome atheist. He runs the Friendly Atheist YouTube channel and the Friendly Atheist website, and they put out articles like crazy. The religious crazies give them all kinds of material, but man, I don't know how he pumps out so many things. I guess most of the articles are short, so maybe that's how, but he's a tweet machine, an article machine. It says, it's no surprise that atheists are disliked in America. Study after study has found that we have a bad reputation. I would say that it's probably due to pastors bad-mouthing us and a general belief in the country that morality and theism are intertwined. But the end result is people don't like us. But an interesting new study finds that atheists typically like religious people, no matter the stripe. The same can't be said the other way around, especially for evangelicals. The study, published in the journal Secularism and Non-Religion, is the work of researchers David Speed and Melanie Brewster, and the results can be really summed up in this chart from fellow academic Ryan P. Burge. Okay, so here's Ryan's tweet. It says, evangelicals feel the most negative about atheists, followed by Muslims, then Hindus, and Buddhists are a tie. I think it's interesting how the nuns see these groups as very similar. They rate atheists as the same as Hindus, but both groups are slightly higher than Muslims. So if you look at the chart, how positive do you feel toward these groups? So first we have the evangelical Christians. How do they feel toward all the groups? Well, they have Christians ranked all the way to the right over here. So they love themselves. Oh, there's my mouse. Okay, so the Christians love the Christians, for sure. Next up is Jews. And then Buddhists, Hindus, Muslims, and way back here are the atheists. So they don't really care for us that much. Despite what they say, love everyone or whatever. I think atheists leave a bad taste in people's mouths. And I think a lot of it is due to unfair assumptions about us. But I think it's important that if you are an atheist, now, if you're watching this channel, obviously you don't have to be an atheist, but if you are, I think it's important that we try to, say the word atheist and make it normal, because there are misconceptions about that word and people don't really understand, or they think that atheists are Satan worshipers and stuff, Here we got the mainline. I guess this is the mainline Christians. They think a little more highly of atheists. And then Black Protestants have us ranked pretty low too. And then it starts to slowly go up. Catholics like us a little bit more, other faiths, and then the religionless. Look at that. Atheists, the people who have no religion, still like people more than atheists. That says a lot about what people think about atheists, really. But it's one of those things. People think that they hate atheists because they've met a lot of atheists in their lives, but they just don't know it. That's the whole thing. They think that they've only met a few because it's like the outspoken ones, but they've met a lot more than that. It's just people who don't go around and say, I'm an atheist, I'm an atheist. So when they do hear somebody say it, it leaves a bad taste in their mouth because of whatever, like their personal experience with those people. That's what I think anyways. Abraham Piper made a TikTok about that the other day. He called it the toupee. It's called the toupee fallacy, where people say that they've never seen a good toupee. But how would they know that? Because the only toupees that they recognize are the ones that are bad. So they probably see all kinds of good toupees. They just don't realize it. And it's the same thing. But look, everybody seems to love the Christians. Well, all the Christians. And then once it gets down to the no religion, they're all grouped in there together. So the article says there's so much going on in there. No one likes atheists, including people without any religion. But evangelicals really don't like atheists. In fact, evangelicals have very different feelings about all sorts of religious / non-religious groups. They love Christians, sure, but Jews are a distant second, with Buddhists and Hindus just slightly better than neutral. Other Christians, the mainline, Black Protestants, Catholics, shared similar feelings about atheists and Christians. Yay! Atheists, on the other hand, lump pretty much everyone together when it comes to likability. Muslims are lowest on the list, but not by much. And even if they're on the positive side of the ledger, and even then they're on the positive side of the ledger. Ironically, even the no religion crowd doesn't have a ton of love for atheists. So yeah, it's kind of what I was just saying. But in my opinion, these groups are all clumped together because atheists think they're all wrong on the God question. But by and large, we know people of faith are often good people. Yeah, that's the thing, People can be good people. It doesn't matter what you believe or don't believe. Most of my friends are Christians, and if you're in the chat, you can probably relate. If you're not a Christian, I'm sure you probably have Christian friends. Living where I live down in the Bible Belt, I mean, most of the people I know are Christians, so of course a lot of my friends are going to be, and a lot of them are good people. I don't have anything against the people. It's more like the faith, the belief that I have, that I take the issues with, and what can, stem from those beliefs. Ask us about white evangelicals specifically, and I would expect a very different answer. Yeah, that's true. The white evangelicals are a little out there. But Christians on the whole, they're fine. Similarly, whatever you think about Muslim extremists, Muslims in the U.S. are often victims of religious bigotry, not perpetrators of it. That's true. Especially like post 9/11, that was really bad. I would also suggest that these are not groups trying to force their theology on the rest of us. So we have no reason to like Hindus more or less than religious Jews, but go to a mainstream church service and it wouldn't be unusual to hear a sermon denouncing atheists as immoral and non-Christians as worshiping false prophets. No wonder Christians have strong feelings about these different groups. Yeah. It's kind of incredible that atheists are disliked so much, yet we don't respond in kind. Christians like other Christians, but most everyone else is out of luck. Atheists, however, are fine with you no matter who you are. There's no prejudice. We'll judge individuals on their merits. Sounds like a much better way of going through life. Now, I agree and disagree because, it just depends on the person, honestly. But here's what's up, Daniel? This is what we're talking about here. There's a chart. I guess it was a recent poll that was done. What was it? Just talking about how these groups feel about other religious groups or, atheists. And pretty much evangelical Christians, mainline Christians, Black Protestants, Catholics, and other people of faith all have atheists ranked the lowest out of the people that they like compared to actual religious groups. So it's kind of an interesting study there. I saw that good old why non-believers are idiots is in the chat here. Welcome. Thanks for lurking. Hey, Rocket, what's up, man? Rocket, the guitarist in the house. No good, Connor. Just to fuck with people, I say I believe in Norse mythology and think Thor could destroy Jesus. Love it. My boss made a shady comment about atheism, even though one of her sons is also an atheist. I think a lot of people, especially people who are Christians or whatever, if they have kids that are non-believers, they think they're going to come back. Oh, well, they'll end up coming back to Jesus. They think it's like a phase, It's not they think it's like not a well thought out way of life or anything. It's just a phase and we're backsliding and eventually we'll get back. So they don't have any problem talking crap about atheists, Elise, I used to live in the Bible Belt. It's like walking on a landmine for an atheist. Everyone, including my boss, would ask me what church I go to. I was an out atheist, so my reply wasn't popular. Yeah, I actually had an interview today, and they were like, "So what do you do?" So I definitely keep this kind of stuff on the down low for the most part because it could hinder the hiring process. Being an atheist isn't popular in the South for sure. All right, let's get to Zach's question here. I debate people online all the time about religion, and only today someone finally gave me a response to a question I ask. The question is, why would an intelligent God make a world where almost half the population needs lenses to focus the light correctly on their eyes? Today someone replied to that question with a response that's because whenever Eve ate the apple, sin was introduced into the world, and that leads to people having ailments. Yeah, I agree. That logic is ridiculous. Because one person ate fruit, then everybody else is screwed. I would probably reply to that the way you did, I'm guessing. It's ridiculous to me. It makes no sense. Yeah, we all sin. Eve sinned, so therefore it like threw mankind into this whirlwind of not being good enough anymore, being a fallen people or whatever. What's up, Darren? Thanks, Brandi. Yeah, it's so I'm gonna get some freelance work, so that's pretty cool. I'm excited about it. Pretty excited about it. I think good things. Hopefully it can develop into something like full time. Right now it's kind of just like contract work or whatever, but I'll take it. Might be able to get myself something new and shiny. Yeah, Darren, we were just talking about how people don't like atheists, about how basically all the Christians that were polled like atheists less than they like others. Like religious groups or whatever. Let me pull it back up. That's not it. It's this little chart right here. How do you feel? How positive do you feel toward these groups? And you can see the atheists are last here. When I first looked at it, I mislooked at the last one. So the non-religious people actually have Muslims. That they feel the most negatively about, I guess. But still, they're all pretty close together. So what's everybody up to on their chill Tuesday? Is it a chill Tuesday for you? Or are you stressed? Did you work your ass off today? Are you sipping? I should have made myself a drink. You know? What am I doing? I should have made myself a drink. Last night I had a screwdriver. Well, like a variation of a screwdriver. I use soju instead of vodka. That shit was good. I love orange juice though. So, but you know me, I'm drinking my sparkling water. I love this shit. You're having a drink too, Zach. Zach, thanks for the super sticker, man. That's awesome. I appreciate that. That's the first super chat or super sticker I've gotten. So that's awesome, man. Just got monetized a few weeks ago and can enable that. I really appreciate that. Oh, Jerome, it's 2 a.m. Wednesday where you're at. We've got a European on our hands. You're doing the dishes, Brandi. I actually need to do that. But you know what? Tomorrow's another day. Anybody from the Pacific Northwest here? Are you guys, if you are you still getting heat wave from hell? That shit's crazy. It was like 121 degrees in British Columbia. I'm like, what? Oh, you're in the Pacific Northwest, Elise? Damn. I don't know if it's still going on. I'm guessing it probably is. Hope you got AC. Yeah, I had a little stretch there, Jerome, in March where I did like 6 Tuesdays in a row. Well, Wednesdays your time. I streamed 6 weeks in a row, and then I kind of took a month break. But now I'm back. I want to start doing it this time every week, just to hang out and say what's up. It's good to have a community with some fellow non-believers, whether you call yourself an atheist or not. Even if you are a believer, what's up? Except for non-believers or idiots, whatever that guy. I don't really care for him that much. Holy hell. It was 112 today in Washington. Oh God. Yeah, that's rough. I mean, I can't tell you the last time it was. I'm in Tennessee, and I mean I think it hit 100 a couple times last year, but that's about it. We don't. It's been a long time since we've seen 112. Not any time that I can remember. So Hobby Lobby took out an ad for the 4th of July. I don't know if you guys saw this. Basically calling for Christian-run government. I saw it today on Twitter. Thought I'd share it with you. No, I didn't really share any religious nuts yet. I'm going to get to some comments here shortly. Little comments from Christians. Let's see. Let me pull up this Hobby Lobby thing. Never mind the gigantic ad here in the middle. Hobby Lobby faces backlash over newspaper ad calling for Christian-run government. This is from Newsweek. If you guys know anything about Hobby Lobby, I didn't know it for a long time. Hey, Chris. I didn't know it for a long time that Hobby Lobby was a Christian company. I didn't know that for most of my life until like 5 years ago, something like that. When I went there, I was like, why are they closed on Sunday? And then I read up on them a little bit. But yeah, they're owned by these big time Christians and whatever, that's fine. But if you haven't seen the YouTube channel Fundy Fridays, they do some good videos, and she's got one on Hobby Lobby that's pretty entertaining. Yeah, Hobby Lobby, they're overpriced anyways, but I doubt I'll shop there again. Don't we already have a Christian-run government? Yeah, I mean, basically, not officially, but yeah. So arts and crafts giant Hobby Lobby faced a backlash after it ran a full-page advertisement on July 4th in several newspapers across the U.S. that appeared to call for a Christian-run government. What are you doing, Hobby Lobby? The advert, which Hobby Lobby ran in newspapers on Independence Day, was titled One Nation Under God and included the Bible verse, "Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord," as the company also posted its campaign on its social media pages. They quoted former presidents who signed the Declaration of Independence in 1776 in its campaign, including George Washington, but the Freedom From Religion Foundation reported that the company had altered the quotes without providing the full context. Imagine that. Hey, Jade. Yeah, Hobby Lobby. They're like I don't know what you would describe them as, like not an arts and crafts store, but they're like a home decor store, I guess would be it. They do have crafts and stuff, but it's like a lot of just stuff to decorate your house with. Somebody can probably explain it better than I can. But included in the advertisement, Hobby Lobby claimed to quote former President John Adams, saying, "We have no government armed with power capable of contending with human passions unbridled by morality and religion. Our Constitution was made only for religious and moral people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other." Although Adams did say those words, Freedom From Religion Foundation reported that Hobby Lobby altered the placement of the quotes to make the sentences look as if they followed one another, taking away the context that the former president used religious and moral is synonymous in the full speech. Yeah, so I'm trying to get to, I think there's a picture of the article. Before long, Hobby Lobby was placing beautiful full-page ads celebrating the real meaning of Christmas, Easter, and Independence Day in newspapers across the country. They faced backlash on social media after it tweeted about the advertisement on Sunday. So this is what let's see. U.S. Army veteran David Weissman responded to the advertisement by saying, "Shame on you, Hobby Lobby. As an American Jew who served in the United States Army and took an oath to defend the Constitution, I find your statement of America should be led by Christians to be asinine and unconstitutional." Let's see. I thought there was a damn picture of the ad. I'm going to have to find it. There's a full page ad, and it had like all the quotes from the forefathers and a bunch of Bible verses on it. I guess it's not in this, but if I can't find it, make sure you look it up because it's pretty crazy. Freaking Hobby Lobby. I'll never be there again. Has great stuff. Oh, you're reading The God Delusion? Yeah. I am. It's one of those things like, I know that you're a reader, but I've always been one of those people who's like, I like to read, but I never take the time to read. So I've tried to switch to audiobooks, and like I've owned The God Delusion, and I've owned God Is Not Great by Hitchens. Like I've owned those books for 5 years, and I never fully read them. I've read parts of them. And so I'm about halfway through The God Delusion on audiobook these days. So I love Dawkins. I know he's got some crazy ass opinions on things and some bad takes these days, but still. Yeah, I like to read, but I get too distracted. Like in the age of the smartphone, I get too distracted to read. And so the best time for me to read is when I go walk. I like to go walk a few miles. Not that it really shows, but I kind of been out of practice too. But I like to go walk a few miles and listen to an audiobook. Like that way I'm exercising and I'm reading at the same time. And I'm glad that you said that audiobooks are still reading. I know there's a debate on that probably, but I say it is. And you know, I've listened to a bazillion podcasts too, so it's not like I'm not intaking information and stuff. I just don't sit down and read a physical book very often. So, yes, that's another book that I am about halfway through on audiobook too, Jade. That's a really good book that definitely helps to like dispel the fucking notion that we're a Christian nation, because we're not. Andrew Seidel is the man. You're a librarian and listen to most of your books. Is that like blasphemous in the librarian community? Have you heard about Brandi? She listens to her books. Wow. Could imagine. It's about that time. I'm behind on some of these comments that I've gotten. I like to make them all known to you, show you the comments that I get, the crazy ones. Like this one. Hey, dude. Like a few of millions of other people agree it's ending. 45% of the whole world. Now they don't have to be through Christ. Maybe 12% of them aren't. But hey, we can't be so selfish that this world lasts forever, lol. Evil is here. Now, as far as you being agnostic, atheist, Catholic, question mark, that's not my fault. Go get a job instead of jumping on the bandwagon in the last few years of Revelation. Obviously, you see it happening, but can't admit it. So you make videos because you're mad at the people who truly do accept it ending. You got to make a video against me now. Then a few million other people. Well, Tommy Brown, consider this the video against you, you dumbass. Nobody even understands what you're trying to say. Fucking Tommy Brown. None of this makes any sense. So I would suggest a revision on your comment, sir. Yes, the founding myth does have an audio version. The guy, that's what I'm listening to it on through Audible, and I don't love the guy who narrates it though. Jade, are you listening to that or reading it actually? Because I'm not crazy about the guy's voice who narrates the founding myth, but it does have an audio version. Yeah, they do seem to have terrible grammar a lot. I try not to say too much about it. I try not to say too much about it because, people have told me that that's ableist, and I don't want to attack people's grammar too much, but it does seem to be pretty rough. Let's see who we got next. You can't reject God in all areas of your life, then turn around and ask him for things, then say he doesn't exist when he doesn't give you what you want. I pray that you turn your lives to Jesus and surrender to him. God is real. Hell is real. Heaven is real. God still loves you and wants to have a relationship with you. I'm not interested. Sorry. Off the market. And I replied, you can't just say God exists and expect people to believe that's true. There's no evidence that a God exists. There's only anecdotal evidence. No reason to believe in God, heaven, or hell. And it's funny when people like you claim opinions as facts. You not only believe in God, but also claim to know what that God wants. That always kills me, that people think they know the mind of God because they have read the Bible. So they know exactly what God wants. What's up, Brandi? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Here's truth sets you free. I know what you mean. I used to be just like you, but when God connects with you, everything changes. All caps. And God reveals truth to you. I know things are messed up in the world today. What's with the dots, man? I can't keep up with this. It's ruining the flow of the sentence. Anyway, God did not create the mess. When you accept Jesus as your Savior, everything is revealed and will make sense to you. That one always baffles me too, that they expect me to accept Jesus and then believe in, like, I'm supposed to believe in him first and then he'll reveal himself. How does that make any sense? How could you apply that same thing to anything else in your life? If I were to tell truth sets you free to just believe in any other God and then that God will reveal himself, what do you think he would say? I'm guessing no. But they don't apply the same thing. They want the dramatic pauses. Well, they got them. They got the dramatic pause. It just messes up the flow of the sentence. What are they doing? Paula G. You can't reject. Oh, wait. That was the same one, wasn't it? Wait. Did I already read that one? Oh, yeah, I did. Moving on. Here's a very kind message from Magic Tiles. I believe I don't care about you. You're so bad, I pray, and I told God that I will never cuss and swear I will try not to. I love him. His always in my heart. God is real because people couldn't make water, earth, tree, buildings. Nobody can make all of this. God is real and his spirit is with me and following me. Now, I hate to break this to Magic Tiles, but people can make buildings. Not sure if you realize that. They don't just construct themselves. People can make them. So, sorry, Magic. People can't make buildings. Love it. Drinking my sparkling water. I lost my place. Where am I at? Here, there. It's fine you talking about invisible God, but you believe in fake ass invisible COVID because government told you to. Something to chew on. Something to think about. Thank you, Galinka boy. People get so offended when you don't believe in their God. It's weird. It's weird, you know. I can't just make a video about whatever without these people thinking that they're making a point, but they're not really making any good point whatsoever. You think it's make-believe? I know it's not. We each get a choice on that. And I said, I get to choose whether or not it's make-believe? Yes, sir, I know. One day you will know as well. Have a good day. To which I replied, fuck off. Must not have been in a great mood that day. So, but he likely deserved it. So I know you won't judge me. I just need to say something here. My deconversion from Christianity was so unspeakably awful. Wait. Oh, that's a good comment, isn't it? This isn't like, on The Office when Michael Scott is doing the projector and he's like, oh, how did that picture get on there? And it's him making out with his girlfriend or whatever. This isn't one of those moments, okay? I was going through my screenshots and putting the messages in here, and this one was a good one. Sometimes I screenshot the good messages because it makes it worth doing this to me when people say good things like thank you or whatever. I'm not doing anything special, but these kinds of messages really help me to keep doing it. I just need to say something here. My deconversion from Christianity was so unspeakably awful. Left me with permanent emotional scars that will probably never heal. I never thought I could laugh at it one day until I started watching your ridiculously silly Instagram videos. Thank you for making me laugh. Gets you in the feels. God, I really feel like Michael Scott right now. Oh God. Oh, how'd that one get in there? Whoops. There's a little thing called faith, which makes it so there doesn't need to be enough evidence that proves he's real. And I said, cool. So why don't you have faith in all of the other gods then? Boom. Gotcha. Gotcha, Cal Hill. So it's okay. It's fine to have faith. There doesn't have to be evidence, right? You just have faith. Okay. So why don't you believe in all the other gods? Riddle me that. If this mic wasn't attached, I'd drop it right now. Who created your soul and the soul of all humans? The one you avoid, Jesus, is your creator that you will meet too. Mark this word. You will face him in the great fear and trembling. Don't wait for that time, friend. He loved you so much. And I put Bob the Builder. I forgot about that comment. Who created your soul? Bob the Builder. Sometimes it's just fun to fuck with people who whatever you say is not going to matter. You might as well just say Bob the Builder. Yeah, that's a good question, Darren. I don't know why people say that. Having faith over evidence is a good thing. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous thing to just have blind faith and stuff. And they'll say like, well, you have faith every day. You have faith that your car is going to start. That's a different. Are you really equating having faith that something is going to happen that has happened every single day versus having faith in a supernatural creator who lives outside of space and time? It's a little different. Oh, we got a super sticker. Thank you, Elise. I had this animation that I was going to do for super chats. Let me crank that up real quick. I totally forgot about it. It's a super chat. Thank you for that. Now let's get back to these morons. You will find out. Oh, Betsy, she loves my channel. Oh, I see why non-believers are idiots is back in the chat. I've put you on blast a couple times because you're stupid. All right, let's see. Betsy, you will find out too late that there is a creator. Atheist. Hebrews 9:27. You will die, and then the judgment, you and many God-hater deniers will stand before a holy God at the great white throne. Judgment, Revelation 20:11. All unbelievers, including you, will be cast into a lake of fire. Thanks for the comment, Betsy. Appreciate it. Obsessed with my channel. You know, it's funny that people say that atheists believe in fairy tales. Quite funny. Idiots. Welcome in. Hurts to Helix. Dumb phone. Yeah, technology problems. Gotta love them. Seems to happen every time I'm about to do anything. He might have been on Pine Creek. Pine Creek is one of those channels that I want to watch a lot. I haven't watched much of his content. He puts out a lot of it, but I'm putting you in timeout. I probably need to make more people moderators up in here. I'll do that for sure soon. I'll have the chat popped out, so I don't think I can make you guys moderators right now. But I'll do it for sure for a lot of you people who are here frequently. Yes, Christian, I have, if you go to the homepage of my channel, there's a playlist called Start Here, and the first video on that is my deconversion story. And I also just did a video on Girl Defined. Like the last video that I did was Girl Defined. So if you go on my channel, go check it out. I'm doing the shoulder shimmies to the music in my ears, and I forget you can't hear it. All right. Let's see. I forget where I was. I was replying. I think this comment here was one that I made on. There are these accounts on Instagram, these Christian accounts who post and they put hashtag atheist and stuff. Like they use all the atheist hashtags and ex-Christian hashtags and stuff. And I follow some of those on Instagram because I want to see those posts. But these people take it over, and so I'm like, so we're supposed to believe in a global flood, Satan, God, and hell because the book tells us to. And God has common sense. It says, that is history. And the man who told us so is God Almighty himself. And that's why I'm saying humans don't learn, because the same questions were put to Noah about the impossibility of a global flood, but it happened. And I just replied, listen to yourself. I mean, what can you say? God might have common sense, but this user does not. It's history, and the man who told us so is God Almighty himself. If you believe that, you'll believe anything, right? Thanks, Christian. I appreciate that compliment. Yeah, I'm trying to put out videos every Friday, live streams on Tuesday nights, and I have a podcast too, but a lot of it is just the audio from my YouTube videos. So if you listen to podcasts, you can listen to my videos there. But I think I want to do something new with the podcast and start doing something that is a little bit longer and different than just YouTube audio, whatever. So we'll see. I got some things in the cranium, but okay. Yeesh, looked around for 2 minutes and you look like a nightmare of a human being to run into. Laugh emoji. 24 tips bundled into one. Ear, ear, ear. Listen before you speak. I mean this in the nicest way possible. What the actual fuck are you talking about? He felt the need. This person felt the need to tell me that they looked around at my profile for 2 minutes and I look like a nightmare of a human being. None of this makes any sense. Make it make sense. I'm lost. What are these people talking about? What is life? Greta Christina gave a talk about angry atheists. It's on YouTube. I need to look at that. I've seen some of her stuff. I have a couple of her quotes saved. Well, I did a video that was called 28 quotes from atheists or something like that. And hers was, she had a couple of them on there, but I need to watch that. Your angry phase lasted a few years. Yeah, that's me too. I've been out of it for about 12 years now. Difficult to find peace when you've been lied to about reality. That's true. I try to, tell myself that I was lied to about reality, but not intentionally, because these people really believe it. They believe what they're saying. So it's not like they were intentionally lying to me or whatever. And it is what it is. I don't really harbor too much anger or anything for the people who taught me these things or told me these things, because they believe them themselves. Oh, cool, Brandi. Yeah, I got some ideas. So I like podcasts too. It's weird, like, since I've been at home most of the time, I don't have a commute to work anymore. That used to be my podcast time. When if I'm driving, I'm listening to podcasts. I rarely listen to music unless it's Bo Burnham these days. It's mostly podcasts, and so but my amount of drive time has been greatly reduced. So my podcast listening, it's weird. Like, if I'm sitting here at home, I don't really want to just listen to a podcast. I do sometimes if I'm doing things or whatever, but I find myself watching YouTube videos. So sometimes I'll watch YouTube videos that are like a video podcast or whatever. So I don't know. I got some ideas about what I want to do. We shall see. Chloe says, know where y'all are going. Hell, the end times are near. Just remember this moment when you are getting judged by God. You will forever burn in hell. It's not too late. God is real. So much things. T dot dot dot. I don't know where she was going with that. It's a lot of these same. I have a lot of the same commenters, but then I'll get some fresh new ones, in the mix. You need help, body. You live in a bubble which doesn't exist. The spewed all out from the beginning. You are suppressing your inbuilt instinct for God, and nothing could fill that void. Not so much sex, alcohol, fun, party, drugs, etc. can fill it. And the more you indulge, the more you empty you become. Oh, the more you indulge, the more empty you become. That's the root of your hatred toward anything God/Bible. I'm glad you know me. Thank you for knowing me. These people think they know me better than I know myself. And they all, not all, but they try to tell me things about myself. And I just think that's funny. They rarely come into it from a conversational standpoint. And I know that the videos that I make are, poking with a stick. I realize that. But nobody really, they don't want to have conversations. They just want to tell me what I believe. And I always think that's funny. Are you asking about Bo, Randy? Bo Burnham? Yeah, he's a comic, yes, but he's also a musician. You need to watch, if you haven't watched his newest Netflix special. It's pretty damn good. He filmed the whole thing in his guest house, and it's a lot of music and some comedy in there. It's really funny, and also very sad and very I don't know, made me feel a lot of things. But my favorite thing I've watched in a while, and I've watched it probably like 6 times already, if not more. And I listen to the soundtrack when I'm driving. So if that tells you, if you trust my judgment, I think you'd like it. Oh, here's a comment on my video. What I've learned as an atheist. What I've learned as an atheist. What? That you all don't know diddly squat? Oh man, valueoftruth.org. I hope you're doing stand-up somewhere, because that is hilarious. I can't wait to come see you at open mic night. These people, man. Only thing I've seen from Bo was his movie 8th Grade, which I liked. I don't know if I've seen that, actually. I've seen all of his stand-up stuff, or all of his specials, and most of his YouTube videos, but I don't know if I've seen that. Hey, just want you to know that hell is not for eternity. Don't follow religion, follow Jesus. A loving God won't burn people forever. People will go to lake of fire, but they will be turned into ashes and they will perish. God won't continue tormenting them forever. No. People who don't go to heaven will perish, be turned to ashes. You have time to repent and come to Jesus. You have time as you live right now to come back to Jesus. Have a great day. God bless you. You're going to die. You're going to burn. You're going to be engulfed in flames, but not for long. You'll turn to ashes. Have a great day. Thank you. That comment gave me all the warm fuzzies. Jesus is coming soon, and we do not. Oh, Jesus is coming soon, and we do know that for sure through the signs he has given us through his word. Jesus gave that prophecy. Spirit-filled preachers like myself have our eyes open to discern the signs. No. Sorry, Jacob. Don't believe ya. Don't believe you, Jake. And finally, on the comments, we have Shine International School. You're going to go to hell, but don't worry. We'll pray for you. And I said, don't forget to smile today. The reason I said that is because their name originally was Don't Forget to Smile Today instead of Shine International. Oh, no. Here it is. The reason I said that is because if you look closely at their logo, it says Don't Forget to Smile Today. I knew there was for some reason I said that. I was being a snarky asshole because I wanted to be a snarky asshole. It's fun. And they deserve it. I don't really have any more content, but we can hang out if you guys want. If you have any questions or if you just want to tell me what you're up to, what are you guys watching on TV? What are you listening to? What podcasts do you listen to? What shows do you watch? All that jazz. Absolutely. Absolutely. When they say, I'll pray for you, it's just another way for them to say, fuck you. Because how many of those people do you really think are praying for us? Do you really think they go home and say, that young man on YouTube's, that Jesus unfollower guy, I'm going to pray for him tonight? You think that shit happens? No, it doesn't happen. Yep, God just makes people singe in fire until they repent. Maintenance phase. Is that a podcast too? I don't think I'm aware of maintenance phase. I've seen the Evangelical podcast, but I don't listen to it. this is pop. Is it about pop music? If it's about like the boy bands of the late 90s, I'll watch that shit. If it's about Britney Spears and stuff, count me in. Murder podcasts and documentaries. There's a dude on TikTok. If any of you guys are on TikTok, it's a guy, his account is called Making a True Crimerer. And his account is blown up. He's got 1 million followers now. But if you like just like short bits, short videos about, he does murder cases and worst deaths imaginable and all sorts of like cool stuff like that in little 3-minute videos. But I really enjoy that shit. I tried to get him to make a YouTube channel, and might try to get him on the podcast or on the YouTube channel one of these days. You're halfway through inside. Well, finish it. What are you doing? We'll pray for you. Christian Gaslighting 101. There's something wrong with you, even though you don't think that there is. We'll pray for you. Free Britney. What's the latest on the Britney situation? I saw the whole, like, I mean, I don't really know what's going on with it, but I guess her dad's getting exposed or whatever, but wild. I'm going to have to look up this maintenance phase podcast since you guys are talking about it. Sorry for all the spamming links in the chat. I set up Nightbot so I don't have to like try to drop stuff in there of where you can find me on social media and stuff. I'll probably dial that back to where it's not spewing out so many links. I didn't know it was going to just be like that. I don't understand how that works. Is it conservatorship? Or I don't know how to say that word. But like, why can't she just get out of it? Oh, you spotted the this is the best shit right here. If you're a sparkling water fan, even if you're not, this brand, this flavor is my shit. I drink it straight. Sometimes I will put it on the rocks with a little bit of sometimes like a little dash of cranberry juice in there. It's pretty good. I need to get pomegranate juice or something that would taste better in it since it's blueberry pomegranate sparkling water. But I just do it to keep from drinking soda. I like the bubbles. Makes it sound like a real fat ass. Good bot. He's working hard. Nightbot's working hard. If Santa, Jesus God, wrote you a letter telling you that Tooth Fairy was telling the truth, and then he had the Easter Bunny, would you believe? It's too complicated of a question. But yes, I would believe. Takes more faith to be an atheist, if you ask me. Also, do what Nightbot says. Hit the like button if you like the stream. It'll help to give me a boost in the algorithm or whatever. She legally can't in a conservatorship. Her dad owns all her assets, money, mentally unfit. Shit. I guess this all stemmed from when she had her breakdown a decade ago, or that's been longer than that, hasn't it? Wow. Yeah. I didn't realize it's been going on since she had the mental breakdown. That's sad. I did one watch party one time. Only a few people showed up. It's really hard to promote stuff like that, but I think something like that would be fun if we could all find something like the people who have Netflix. It's done through, I forget the site, but like watching Netflix together. I think the reason that only a few people showed up was because the first time I watched God Is Not Dead, just for shits and giggles. But if we watch something a little more up our alley, maybe people would do it. But it's hard. Like again, it's hard to like. Even I was for a month like, hey, we got this coming up. We're gonna do the watch party. Who wants to come? Like 100 people said yeah, and then 4 people showed up. So it's kind of hard to do, you know. But I think that something like that would be cool. Yep, I got bubbly in the fridge right now. I drink that stuff too. Typically, I'll get 1 case of this and 1 case of bubbly, cherry bubbly when I go to the store. That's usually what I get. And I'll mix a little bit of cranberry juice in that too. They used to have the cranberry bubbly, but I haven't been able to find it anywhere. So I usually just get the cherry now and mix in a little cranberry juice with it sometimes. Whatever keeps me from drinking Cokes, because as much as I love them, I'll blow up like a balloon. So I'm sticking to the water. Okay, a watch party could be fun. Yeah, we might have to do that sometime then. I would just have to like talk about it pretty far ahead of time, probably, to get enough people to be interested in it. You know, I have an email list too that's in the links that Nightbot's spewing out there. So if I ever do a watch party, you know, I'll send it out to the email list and give people there a heads up. That's one of the best ways I think to kind of tell you guys what I'm working on or whatever. But so join that if you're not on it already. Honest question: what would you do if your grandmother's church endorsed not talking to non-believers and she clapped along and said amen? Yeah, that's awful. Does she know that you're a non-believer? Probably not, right? But I'm sure that broke your heart. That sucks. I hate to hear that shit. Yeah, I've only done, like I said, I've only done the one watch party, and because only a few people showed up, I was like, maybe we'll do it again. And so, oh, Hail Satan, yeah, I watched that not a couple months ago. That's good. Maybe I'll try to get something like that together then, and do a watch party of some sort for something. That would be fun. I'll just have to pick a date, and that, because it's going to be hard to be like, what's the best time for everybody? It's just like, here's the date. If you can make it, cool. If not, that's cool too. I don't know what to say. Told her a few months later, and it seemed as if she retracted that idea. Yeah, I don't know. Those are tough waters to navigate, right? Grandparents and stuff, because they have believed the way that they have for so long, and a lot of them are set in their ways and not really open to people who believe differently. I hate this fucking neck on this shirt. I'm gonna throw it away. But I think those are tough. It's tough to figure out how to really act in those situations. Never really had to deal with anything like that, so I can't really imagine what it's like. I do know that, you know, my mom is a believer, big time believer, and she accepts me being an atheist. I know, but I also know that she probably prays for my soul every night because she's scared of where it's going to end up, and so that kind of sucks. I don't really talk about religion. That's just one thing you don't do, I guess, a lot with family is try to avoid politics, try to avoid religion. So instead of a book club, a watch party of different documentaries. That would be pretty cool. Yeah. Do it like once a month or something. A once a month watch party. Maybe switch up the time to where, you know, maybe it's better for some people one month and then some people the next month. That might be something to do. See, that you got the right idea, I think, Darren, because I like doing that too. I love watching cringy shit. I like watching and just to laugh at it. But I know a lot of religious stuff can also bring up trauma, so it's hard to figure out exactly. It's hard to walk that line, I guess. It's one thing the silent generation was very good at, avoiding topics of sex, religion, and politics. Yeah, it's just a different time, you know? I mean, that generation is just so much different from our generations. I say our. I assume most people are probably millennials or Gen X here. Maybe some, possibly some boomers, possibly some Gen Zs. But judging by my YouTube analytics, I know most of the people who watch here are millennials. I'm an elder millennial, upper echelon, 38 years old. From what I've seen, for the most part, 1980 or 81 is like the start of millennials. So I'm like one of the older millennials. The banana argument. Ray Comfort's something else. The only part of religious things that bother me is seeing the children being programmed. I know. And I saw that the other night. The other night on my personal Instagram, I saw one of the girls that I recently became friends with. I've kind of known her a long time, but I saw her at a wedding a few weeks ago, and then we became Instagram friends. But she put on her story that her 4-year-old son just gave his life to Christ and stuff, and I was like, I mean, I don't know how to feel about that. Like, does he really even know what he's doing? Does he realize it? Is that really something to celebrate? I mean, he can't even know what he is really talking about, you know? Yeah, I've always felt like I get along a little bit better with younger people, with people who are a little bit younger than myself. Still millennials though, like for the most part, I've always felt like, you know, I get along with younger people, but I think I get along with pretty much everybody. But you're more mentally aligned with your children's generation than your parents. It's a weird thing, isn't it? Like, just thinking about the way you were raised and stuff, and kind of how and when you develop your own opinions and thoughts on things, because it takes a while, no matter what, to break indoctrination of some kind, you know, where you believe something because you were told that's the way it was, and you don't see it for a long time that's why you believe it. You were born in 2000, so that makes you middle-aged Gen Z. That's crazy to think about, people born in 2000. What? I was already working a full-time job when 9/11 happened, and you were one. Weird. Last week my son said, "Did you know if you don't believe in God, he'll send you to a place where he'll do bad stuff to you forever?" And people just learn that from their parents, you know, like a little girl. You said a little girl he met at the beach told him that. How awful that she hears that spewed from her parents or guardians or whatever mouth, and then just parrots it to other kids. This is true. I say frequently that, like, I think, and a lot of people probably say this about their own generation, but I feel like I was born at the perfect time in a lot of ways, because born in 1983, so like I had Nintendo as a kid, and I didn't have a cell phone until I was 16, right? So I had my whole childhood that was mostly playing outside, but also like play outside until, you know, it's dark, and then you come inside and you drink water straight from the faucet because you're dying because you've just been running around all day, and then play video games at night or watch sports or whatever, and like there's not all the distractions of social media. I do think that there would have been a benefit to having social media when I was a little younger, maybe, but not a kid. Maybe like in high school, it would have been a totally different experience. But I also kind of love that social media wasn't a thing when I was in school, you know, at all. So, and I was pretty much the first generation, the first class that had cell phones, really. I got a cell phone when I was a junior, I think, so kind of crazy to think about. Yep. Yep. Good music in our generation. My parents played a lot of, my parents listened to a lot of oldies and a lot of country when I was a kid. My brother got me into like alternative and rock and stuff. I don't know why Nightbot is deleting messages. No idea. Sorry about that. Oh, it says please stop spamming caps. Oh, I guess it doesn't like the all caps. Nightbot ain't playing around. Check yourself. Stop spamming. It's a warning. Green Day is one of my favorite bands in the world. And I still have never been to, I was actually looking at tickets for them earlier because they're coming to Atlanta. It's Green Day, Weezer, who is my favorite band. I've seen Weezer like 4 or 5 times, maybe more than that. So Green Day and Weezer and Fall Out Boy are coming to Atlanta. I was going to go with that, but I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, my brother, he really got me into alternative and stuff. He got me into Nirvana and Green Day. Like before that, my brother lived in Michigan, and he would come and visit us in the summers, and he introduced me to that kind of music. And so that's like my favorite music now. Well, I mean, since then, early 90s grunge, alternative. That's my jam. That's my favorite music. Welcome, Keen, coming in with a strong God sucks right off the bat. I live in Chattanooga, so I've lived in North Georgia for most of my life, so pretty close to Atlanta. Nirvana's your favorite band? I love Nirvana. I love Weezer, Nirvana, Green Day, Foo Fighters, like Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, all those bands, like all that era. Love that. Are you not a Are you not a Nirvana fan, Jerome? Do I think Courtney did it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, Kurt was pretty, he seemed kind of, strung out a little bit a lot of times, or off the hinges, whatever. I would like to think she didn't do it. I guess that's kind of a weird thing to say, but I think he did it. It's just a damn shame. Could you imagine? Could you imagine the music that Kurt Cobain could be making today? You love Eddie Vedder? Yeah, Eddie Vedder's good. He did the whole soundtrack for that movie. What was that movie he did? Um, Into the Wild, or that's probably not right. Something like that. Oh, you live near Seattle. A lot of good bands from Seattle. Yeah, Green Day and Weezer. That would be sick, wouldn't it? I've seen Weezer so many times. I won free tickets to Weezer a few years ago on the radio. Only time I've ever won anything. Only time I've ever tried to win tickets, really, from the radio, and I won them for Weezer. So I went and saw them. I've seen them several times. Into the Wild. Yeah. That was a good movie too. Yeah, exactly. I watched the other night, I was just laying in bed watching some Tupac interviews like a week or two ago. That dude was brilliant for his age. Just watching him talk, it's like how was he 23 when he was in like doing a lot of these interviews? He was 23, 24 years old. And I'm like, that guy is so smart, so sharp. I share a birthday with Tupac, by the way. June 16th, Tupac and me, same birthday. Yep, Sublime too. So many good singers gone so young. Yeah, I just got stuck on the other night. I was watching Tupac interviews and then Biggie interviews, and I was just sad thinking about how they died so young. So young. They were like 24. And I think Biggie was 24 and Tupac was 25 or 6, something like maybe not even that old. I can't remember. But I think Biggie was 24. You know, I didn't really know about Tupac's mom. I know he obviously talked about her a lot and thought highly of his mom. It's funny to see. I like the way that the chat goes, just going from talking about God to now we're talking about Tupac. I'm in Tennessee now. I've moved around. I was born in Michigan, moved to Georgia. I've lived in Georgia most of my life. I've bounced back and forth between Georgia and Chattanooga for a few times. She was a former Black Panther, struggled with drugs. Yeah, you can you can tell that she had an impact on him. He was fucking smart as a whip, and just the way that he articulated himself. The kids today, I sound like an old man, don't I? They don't know. They don't know nothing about these Tupacs and Biggie Smalls. That's right. Scenic City. The Scenic City. Yeah, it's beautiful here. I don't get out enough for living in such a beautiful city, but I think it's going to change. I'm going to do some hikes and stuff for sure. Yeah, Jerome, we got some weird laws in this country. Very weird. Like you can't spit off the back of a horse in Alabama or some shit. Like those weird ass laws. I guess I'm probably gonna head out though. But thanks everybody for showing up. I'll be back again next week, same time to hang out. I like this. So before I go, I have a quote to read. Those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. Voltaire. I think I might have read that one before, but I don't care. I love that one. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. See you next week.